Honkai Star Rail is a game that's all about team compositions. If your team comp is garbage, your battle efficiency will be garbage, which means your whole experience is going to be, well, garbage. But that might be the goal for some of you Trailblazers. Some characters naturally work better together than with others. Now, I may be a filthy auto-battle casual, but even I can tell when things just work. These are my top 5 duo synergies to try out that will scratch that Unga Bunga itch in your brain. Some may not be the most optimal, but goddamn are they satisfying. Number 5. Himiko and Herta. This duo was a godsend back in the day, during the infancy of the game, to quickly farm EXP calyxes. It has also made a recent comeback in popularity thanks to the new pure fiction mode that incentivizes erudition units. Himiko launches an AoE follow-up attack when a certain number of enemy weaknesses have been broken, and Herta does the same when enemies reach half health. This makes it super easy to mow down hordes of smaller enemies or spawns of adds, especially if they are weak to fire or ice. Once you start spinning, they die. The follow-ups can even combo into themselves between rounds of enemies, and watching the lawnmower in action is just chef's kiss. I got Himiko for my first free 5-star at the beginning of the game, and I've always reserved the team slot consisting of just her to use with this dude's fully stacked Herta. Thanks, Funky. You've been my MVP from day one. Seriously, just press auto and let the twirl girls work their magic.
Time to twirl! You won't get away.
Number 4. Silverwolf and Shuiyi. An effective mono-quantum team has been the dream for a lot of players since Silverwolf first released on the 3rd banner. With Sparkle coming soon, that dream may soon be realized. But even now, we already have some incredible quantum DPS units to pair with her. For example, Shuiyi. Break-centered gameplay has only really recently become viable in the meta, and these two are bundled near the top of that conversation. Silverwolf's whole gimmick is the ability to force quantum weakness onto an enemy, and Shuiyi is built upon depleting toughness bars in search of a break. Her ultimate may be able to bypass non-matched weaknesses, but with Silverwolf, all of her attacks then become break applicable. This creates a sitting duck for Shuiyi's follow-up counter to stack, and easy management for timing the spear to the face that ultimately causes the break. Zila and QQ are generally considered higher tier DPSs, but there's something satisfying about manipulating enemy toughness bars, fishing for the perfect Shuiyi break, and watching her reel back and launch that lance for absurd numbers.
Execute the Marastruck!
Number 3. Welt and Ruanmei. Speaking of weakness breaking, the synergy between Welt and Ruanmei is just, well, silly if nothing else. Welt is an imaginary type character, so his weakness break causes imprisonment, which stalls enemies and pushes them down in the turn order. His ultimate can also force imprisonment, thus further delaying enemy turns. On top of that, Ruanmei has the ability to essentially re-break an enemy that would normally be coming out of a weakness break, also delaying their turn. So when you put the two together... Honestly, this bullying is simply hilarious. With enough break effect and ERR on Welt, the enemy could literally never have a chance to act once caught up in these two's webs. And this strategy has actually been proven to be so effective that you can run a viable no-sustain comp in the highest difficulty content with these two and still be successful. Try it out for yourself, then point and laugh while the enemy is stuck in stunlock hell.
Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Number 2. Topaz and Dr. Ratio. Who would have thought that 2 hunt characters would have complementary synergy? And yet here we are. Topaz and Dr. Ratio have kits that were made for each other. The former applies a debuff that increases the follow-up attack damage taken by an enemy, and also attacks more often when allies use follow-ups, while the latter buffs himself according to the number of debuffs on the enemy, and front-loads his damage on frequent, powerful follow-up attacks. Obviously, this is great in itself, but the main reason these two are so fun together are the wombo combos they can pull off. Skills and ults chain into follow-ups, which chain into even more follow-ups, all while you just sit there mesmerized, smiling like an idiot. One such chain would be Ratio ult into Topaz skill, into Ratio follow-up, into Topaz ult, into Topaz follow-up, into Ratio follow-up, with Nummi still ready to go with an enhanced attack after. I imagine watching the chain advance while the enemy's HP melts before your eyes with big numbers on each subsequent hit is probably pretty close to what it feels like to chew 5 gum.
Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
Number 1. Kafka and Black Swan. At last, with the new 2.0 banner, we can finally pair these two queens together. Damage over time is peak gameplay, no question about it. Not only do you do damage on your turn, you're also doing damage on the enemy's turn, so no matter what, you're always winning. There's literally no downside. Black Swan applies a special kind of dot that never expires and stacks upon itself the more the enemy is inflicted with other dots, while Kafka takes any dots currently afflicting the enemy and, well, blows them up. If Ratio and Topaz attacks are akin to melting enemies, using Kafka and Black Swan can be likened to exploding them instead. Kafka turn equals boom. Kafka ult equals bigger boom. Enemy turn equals, you guessed it, boom. Mini nukes upon nukes upon nukes. Forget building crit and worrying about rates and 70 over 140 and all that nonsense. Just go fast and boom. Enemies disintegrate before your eyes. Allies cheer. The mommies stand tall, poised, and sophisticated, knowing that they're not only two of the best designed characters in the game, but also deliver the best gameplay experience to boot. Dot connoisseurs, stay winning.
Time to say bye. Boom. I failed.
What other synergies do you like to play with? Let me know in the comments down below. And good luck to your future polls as well. I've got my eye on both Sparkle and Aventurine. Good morning, good night, and everything in between. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya!